Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody that feels like a clear path is all of the sudden obstructed. So I think there's either secret emotion, secret information, secret intent. I think it's more so probably a secret emotion that somebody has to eventually come out with in terms of a roadblock in love. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of enchanta and see what I'm talking about. We're going to start with the Black Tarot and get a little bit more information for you. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We have the Two of Cups in the reverse. Hold on one second. My computer's being weird. Not shocking to see the Two of Cups in the reverse. So we're talking about love having some issues, right? And the Two of Cups in the reverse can be about a breakup, emotional distance, Three of Swords in the reverse, Judgment, and King of Cups in the reverse. Honestly, I'm seeing reverse next to Judgment when we already have the Queen of Cups out in our first pairing. These two would normally be divine counterparts. I'm seeing this as someone saying, you are not my person. I have healed from enough breakups, or I have gone through enough false love or difficult romantic situations to be able to call that when I see it and not feel guilty about it, right? So I feel like this is somebody being pretty matter of fact that, you ain't it. This isn't the connection I thought it was, basically. And so with Judgment, we can easily say that's probably a decision. But I also feel like it's somebody coming to that realization, right? Not letting their emotions or their desire for a connection like mislead them. We have the Tower and the Ace of Swords. So yeah, I mean, I think somebody is going to decide this is where we need to have a conversation and talk through how I'm feeling, because this person doesn't want to mask it. Hi there, Tiana. How are you? Hello, Abby. How are you doing? And it's probably Abby, isn't it? Depends on what I was most recently reading in terms of how I pronounce names like that. Hi there, Drew. How are you doing? We have the World, the Magician, and the Queen of Swords. I think we have, whoever I'm reading for, you have this intent. And I think it's very clear for you what you're looking for, what you want, what you need. You know you can get what you want, basically. It's kind of like, I don't mean that in a overly confident or like it's not like an insult, right? I think you just know what you want. And if it isn't what you want, you're not going to waste your time on it or waste other people's time on it. So I feel like you're a very capable individual. And with the Queen of Swords, again, remember, these are not genders. These are energies that I'm reading. So this could be anyone. But we have somebody here that is able to do both the kind, generous, loving, caring energy, but also be able to know when to cut that off or know when to take back that love energy. So I feel like we have somebody here that is looking at things logically or from a practical standpoint, saying, I don't know if this would work. This is something that probably needs to be called. But with like covering the eyes, I feel like there's a sense of almost like shame or like apology. Page of Swords in the reverse, Seven of Wands, and the Star in the reverse. A concern that perhaps this information or this conversation, even though it is, you know, their own protection, right? Like, how do I protect myself, but also avoid hurting you? So I think there's genuine concern coming from this Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords energy in terms of how can I deliver this bad news in a way that limits how I affect somebody else or limits the ability to hurt somebody, right? So I think there's somebody that wants to go about this in a respectful way. All right, this is the Edgar Allan Poe. We have the Ten of Cups in the reverse and the Death card in the reverse, along with the Ten of Wands. For some of you, there's an opportunity here for you to remain friends, even though you're not going to pursue something romantic. But that's not for everyone. This Death in the reverse is also, for me, the larger message, which is I don't want to go about my decisions in love as if I haven't transformed or if it's as if I haven't changed. I know what is good for me. I know what probably won't work. And I can avoid heartbreak or I can avoid difficult situations by being honest about how I feel, even if it means a little bit of work, right? This Ten of Wands to me is like, yeah, I know the writing's on the wall. There's something I need to deal with, but I can deal with it. You know, like I've done this before kind of thing. Five of Wands, Chariot in the reverse. Three of Pentacles. If there is some resistance here when you communicate that this isn't something that can move forward, if there's a little bit of tension, right? Or even, dare I say, like aggression, there is somebody here that can help you. So for some of you, I'm getting that the best way to handle this conversation is in a public place or by phone. Some of you may just need to minimize the amount of time you have face to face with this person because they may need to just kind of like deal with it, right? For others of you, there's a bit of a warning. I don't feel like this is a significant amount of you, i.e., I don't think it's more than 50% of you, but maybe about 25% of you might realize that there are some consequences here to your social community or even your work community with regards to how you handle this situation. So there is some caution advised, or, you know, don't make it worse than it has to be. Hi there, Peggy. How are you doing? We have the Five of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and the Eight of Swords in the reverse. I think there's a temptation to prolong this or kind of delay the difficult conversation. And I'm getting that that is not advisable. Hi there, Miss Joanna. How are you? So in other words, if you know something, then take action. You are not limited. You have the ability to be direct with this person. And Basically, it looks a little bit selfish if you delay it, right? If you know somebody isn't right for you, don't like drag that out. Just be clear. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. And the King of Pentacles. So, for those of you that got involved with somebody at work, this is going to be an issue. In general, like this might be too late, or you might feel it's condescending. I love you, I promise. But just like leave the people at work alone. Look, I've worked with some real fine motherfuckers, okay? Sometimes it's nice to look at things on the wall and not touch them. Sometimes it's nice to try on clothes and not pay for them and take them home and just like remember them. That sounds so weird. I guess what I'm saying is looky, no touchy should be a thing that applies to certain people. And I feel like there's some sort of a sticky situation here for some of you where you might have to actually pivot in a couple ways away from this person. For those of you where this is not a work connection, there is a financial benefit to not being honest with this person, i.e., you might really like that they take care of you. You might like that they take you out. You might like that they buy you things. You might be tempted to just coast it, ride it through for a little bit, and then have the conversation. I would say this reading is encouraging you to rip the Band-Aid off and not use somebody. Do you want to be used by somebody? Probably not. I mean, hey, if you do, that's your thing. But if you don't want to be used like that, don't do that to somebody else, right? There's something here that tempts somebody to kind of like avoid it, right? We're going to go with the, actually, let's get some Oracle cards in our lives. This is the Golden Reverie, or Gilded Reverie, sorry. It's an extended Lenormand. All right, so we have number 23, the mice. Number 43, Labyrinth. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, you may know I chuckle whenever I see that word or whenever I'm reminded of that word, because I had a high school teacher who would say, labyrinth. I can't help it every time I hear it like that. Probably not the influence that Mr. Glenn was hoping to have over my life. I do still love history though, so hey, there's that's a win, right? There is a potential for loss here. And what I'm seeing is somebody getting distracted, okay? You might think that it's just fine to have a little stopover, pull up onto a rest stop on the highway of love, right? Inadvisable. This is telling me you get caught up in something. You lose an opportunity by being distracted or settling or being content in this situation. It pulls you into something. And then look at this. 2, 2, 2. And then you have a choice. And this clover, it makes me feel like you have a better standing, or you have maybe you're one of two choices. Things are better for you when you're honest in this situation over here, because you don't lose out on something. For some of you, you may be entertaining multiple people at the same time. And because you don't let go of this person that might have some sort of financial perk or some sort of career bonus for you, I don't know what it is. This makes you look bad in somebody else's eyes. That would actually be the pair of eyes you would like to be looking into. So let's not turn it into some sort of movie trope or predictable plot line where, you know, the guy loses the girl because he gets distracted by a cute butt and she's that. I'm oversimplifying. But this is if it's a distraction, it's a distraction. Don't get distracted. I'm very wise and learned, y'all. We have the Three of Swords and the Death card. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of heartache, okay? All endings have a little bit of heartache, okay? Even the ones that you've been working to bring about for yourself, right? Thank you, Miss Joanna. It's exciting. It's time to do a free reading drawing here at some point, and I think in the next couple of days I'll have an announcement for you all on that. But we have a change here. Somebody shifting from a life where disloyalty and not having people to rely on is shifting as a core theme in your life towards loyalty. So we need to dispense with putting that energy out into the universe and instead focus on being that kind of energy we want to find in other people. So don't do it. Don't let yourself get caught up in something that you know is just a waste of time. If it's folly, and it's not going to help you get where you want to be. Plus, aren't crushes just like fucking delicious? I can have crushes all day, every day. I'll really enjoy flirting with you. Lippy, no touchy. Queen of Cups, Hierophant, Seven of Swords in the reverse. So this is like making me think about when I went to Europe. Gosh, a really long time ago, actually. This would have been like about 10 years ago. And I thought it was like kind of amusing how much bigger the warnings are on, or were at that time, on like tobacco products over there. Like, this shit will kill you. Huge print on the cigarettes, right? This to me is like the universe saying, hey, if you are trying to find a serious connection, if you're trying to find a relationship, if you're trying to get married or have babies, whatever the hell, let's be honest about it. And if you aren't interested in a relationship with somebody, let's be honest about it. If you are being sneaky in a relationship context, you are the bad one. I'm not here to judge you, but like, don't be that thing that you don't want to run into, right? We got to hold ourselves to the same standards as we would hold our prospective love partners, right? Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse, and the Strength card. It could be a little bit complicated by somebody being caught off guard, having maybe been a little bit overly confident in their ability to win you over, or getting to a point where they felt like, okay, well, I got you now. I think this person views you as a little bit of a prize, a little bit difficult to win over or get. So there's a little bit of almost like prestige, or like, I want this to impact my self-esteem or my reputation, my ability to have won somebody over like you. So I don't know. I feel like for some of you, this is like an age difference, or like somebody's a little bit on a pedestal. There's definitely some sexual attraction here, but there's something that is off. And I think you start to get a little bit like you might have a stomachache or a headache, or you might feel off. You might have a bad case of the resting bitch face. There are symbols or signs around you that you know to look for, and eventually this person's going to see, right? So be proud of how you interact in a situation like this. You're hilarious. Yeah. Yep. Cut to Garbage, #1 crush. Love that song. Seems appropriate right now. I think we'll get a few from the Kipper. We have the main female in the reverse. And thoughts. We have number 2 and number 16. Then we have number 3, marriage. And number 14, message of concern. Trial and labor. I'm telling you, some of you are dealing with somebody in too close a circumstance, like work, church, school, somebody that people would judge you for being with. There's some element here of like, I don't know. But more importantly, we have somebody really contemplating, could this actually be a connection for me? Is this what I'm looking for? Probably not with the main female in the reverse. We have somebody here that is still looking beyond, right? Like this isn't it for me. So there's communication that happens and makes it more clear. This isn't what I'm looking for, or this isn't what I thought it was, right? Yeah. I'm trying to think what else we need. We're going to get a little bit of clarification from the Everyday Witch, and then we'll call it a day. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. This talks about taking some time. Yeah, maybe you want to find the right time, but don't be a procrastinator. With the Knight of Swords and the reverse, this feels to me like the universe saying, you don't have to be like rushed, but don't take forever. Because there's something here you would miss if you're distracted by this person. We have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. And the Lovers. There's some emotional manipulation here. There could be somebody who's like trying to use 1111 or astrology or some love spell or something. Like there's got to be a way for me to convince this person that they're my soulmate. I don't think it really works like that. You either feel it or you don't. Feel free to disagree. Page of Cups in the reverse, 8 of Pentacles. Don't hate me, but what I see is it's a sign of immaturity to invest in something that you know is not right for you. I'm not trying to call you immature. I'm just telling you, if you know there's something better for you out there, then, get after it. Also, while I pulled that 8 of Pentacles, we had 8 people, 8 likes. Ace of Cups in the reverse, Four of Cups. So if you need to reject a love offer, reject it. You don't want to miss out on one that actually aligns with what you're looking for just because you're distracted by something that you know isn't. I think I've kind of like hammered that particular message home ruthlessly. Don't waste your time. Don't waste other people's time. You know, it's not easy to be honest sometimes, but there's no reason to let that prevent you from being happy. So get out there. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Love you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you on the next reading.